following program contains scenes and language of a frank and explicit nature. Viewer discretion is advised. In 5, 4, 3, 2, live now.
I don't know, Mike. I don't know what you're talking about. Hey, everybody. It's me, the Macho. Now that you're listening to Mike Trash, TrashTalkingRadio.com, the best in the business. Say it, the Macho.
Wrestling fans throughout radio land, listen to Trash Talking Radio at TrashTalkingRadio.com. Every Tuesday from 7 to 10 o'clock, you hear guys like myself, the you gammon giant Kamala. And that's my story.
You can hear words to describe the Trash Talking Radio Show from 7 to whenever we get done is by using a screwdriver, cut, roast, beef. This is Flunever Sean, the other half of the Rock and Wrestling Connection. That's the trashy one and the loony one together
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Ivan Koloff. I'm here to tell you about Mike Talking Trash. The Trash, 7 to 10. Tuesday night, you got to listen in. It's the best around, the best in town. Mike Davis, the animal, one half of the world famous Snake in the Road Warriors, listen to them. If you know it's good for you, listen to Trash Talking Radio or else.
Everybody, you're watching Trash Talking Radio. This is Hulk Hogan. What do you got to say about Trash Talking Radio?
What am I going to say that I just bought Trash Talking Radio? You're out of the picture, dude. This is my show, and you better watch because what you're going to do when Hulk Hogan's brand new Trash Talking Radio runs wild on you.
This is the Vital Idol, and you're listening to Trash Talking Radio every Tuesday from 7 to 10 on TrashTalkingRadio.com. And remember this, when the Vital Idol tells you, it's got to be true. And when it's on the internet, it's got to be real. It's Trash Talking Radio every Tuesday from 7 to 10. I am the top of pop, the king of swing, the international rock star way above par, the host with the most, Mr. Tuesday Night, the Vital Idol, Classy Mike Trash, and thank you very much.
It is Trash Talking Radio. It is Tuesday night. It is the best night of the week. And, I guess I ought to turn that picture on. Oh, that, I hadn't anticipated me not being able. Dogs are going to drive me crazy. They decided that they're going to, they came down right as the show started so that they can be noisy. So, I'm going to have to take his toy from him because he's just continually barking. Or, not barking. Hold on here. Got to make sure I got this right. There we go. Whoop. Now it's not letting me. No, come on. There we go. Hey, we're here.
We're here.
We're here. How do you like that, Doug? You got to see the whole screen for a change.
It changes everything, Mike. It changes everything.
It does really, actually. It does. It makes sense because you only could see part of what was going on, and it wasn't as clean. I think you were looking it because of the camera. You probably couldn't read the screen as well, and now you should be able to read the screen really well. So I'm assuming that's the case. Let me see what we're doing.
There was a whiteout on the screen. I could only read.
Oh yeah.
Bold stuff.
So now you can see everything as clean as I can, I think. actually even better than I can because I got lines in that monitor, so you can't see it real well. But yeah, it's fun. I like. It took me a while to get this together. That's why we're a little bit late because I was planning to make it as clean as possible, and then the way that I wanted to make it work didn't work because the monitor I bought didn't work, which really sucks because you spend money on systems and try to make it work, and the last thing you expect is it not working. So I forgot to send out my invites to people that want to watch the show. So I'm just a little bit behind. Let's see, who did I miss? I think I got most of the people. Stop it! Dog! Anyway, so it's cool to be able to do it so that you can actually read it and all that. So that's fun.
Well, and I can see you too. That helps.
Well, sometimes it scares you, but I know that.
Well,
Stop it now.
I have my puke bag right here, so.
Hold on, I'm going to have to take this toy from the dogs. So they're just going to keep, well, not the dogs, the dog that's causing the trouble. So I'm going to bribe him with a treat and take that squeaker away from him because he doesn't seem to understand. He does understand show business better than I think. He knows when the time is to hit me up for treats. Because he didn't do any of this until the show started. Here. Now, where's Cheyenne at? Hold on, I gotta grab the toy. I'm gonna get it. Here. Where's Cheyenne? Oh, there she is. There you go. And you are just a pain. All right, now we can get ready with the show. All right. Whew. All right, let's see here. I hate being late, but, you know, it is what it is. All right, let's see here. Close all chats. And I'm going to open that up in my feed. So what'd you do this weekend? Did you do anything fun?
No, just a normal weekend.
Oh.
Worked on a sermon, worked on some step work, went to church. Oh, yeah, we drove to Amish country on Saturday. We got some goodies.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Sounds fun.
It's about an hour and a half away. So
that works.
Amish store selling Amish stuff. It's pretty cool.
What would be
They had some soda and from Reading, Pennsylvania. All the way out here in Ohio.
That's pretty fun.
In Indiana. Actually, it was in Indiana.
Well, I got to practice this week for the first time in 2 months. That makes me happy. And, yeah, I think that's an exciting thing. All right, let's get things rolling a little bit here. First thing, I guess, would be we lost a very important icon in the acting world. And why am I getting, what is going on here? I'm getting, okay, I didn't send them a message. Let's see if it's anything important. I don't even know who he is. Okay. Oh, Barry Paul, whoever that is. I should know him. Sounds familiar. I don't know. I don't trust people with two first names, though. All right. Let's get this thing working. Gene Hackman died this past week. Well, was it this? 2 weeks? He died. Well, they don't know when he died.
The 14th or the 17th.
Yeah, they don't know when he died. That's the weird thing about it. And I always liked his acting. I thought he had a pretty good thing going. But I kind of am sad that he's gone. Even though he lived to be, what, 95 or something like that. So,
yeah, he's 95.
and his wife was 65. He stole the cradle there. So, but she apparently was a really attentive woman and did everything to keep him comfortable. And it just is. It's sad, but not overly sad because I mean he did live to be 95. But here's the thing we did on him. Let's do that. Make sure you let me know if you hear this, because I don't know what you're going to hear and what you're not with this system. Okay, I don't even hear it. What's going on? Why is there no sound?
Gene Hackman obituary, remembering a Hollywood legend and the mystery of his final days. Born on January 30th, 1930. Died on February 2025. Gene Hackman, the celebrated actor whose career spanned over 5 decades, has passed away at the age of 94. Revered for his raw talent, commanding presence, and an uncanny ability to bring complex characters to life, Hackman left an indelible mark on Hollywood. From his Oscar-winning performances in The French Connection and Unforgiven to his unforgettable roles in The Royal Tenenbaums, Hoosiers, and Mississippi Burning, Hackman's artistry resonated with audiences across generations. A career like no other. Born on January 30th, 1930, in San Bernardino, California, Hackman's journey to cinematic greatness was anything but conventional. He served in the Marine Corps before pursuing acting, facing early struggles and rejection. However, his determination led him to Broadway, and eventually, to the silver screen. His breakthrough came in 1967 with Bonnie and Clyde, earning his first Academy Award nomination. From there, his rise was meteoric, cementing himself as one of the most respected actors of his time. Hackman's retirement in 2004 came as a surprise to many, but he remained firm in his decision, retreating to a quiet life in New Mexico where he indulged in his passion for writing historical fiction and painting. Despite his absence from Hollywood, his influence never waned, with filmmakers and actors alike frequently citing him as one of the greatest performers in cinematic history. A tragic and mysterious passing. While Hackman had long been known for his reclusive lifestyle, reports of his death have raised speculation and intrigue. He and his wife, Betsy Arakawa, were discovered in their home under unsettling circumstances. Betsy, his wife of over 30 years, was found lifeless on the floor, an open bottle of pills nearby. Hackman, meanwhile, was found in a separate room, seated in his favorite chair, his face serene, as if he had simply fallen asleep. The scene was further complicated by the discovery of one deceased dog, while 2 others were found alive but visibly distressed. Initial reports suggest the possibility of a medical emergency or accidental overdose, yet authorities have not ruled out other factors, including environmental causes or a deliberate act. Some speculate that the couple, having shared decades of love and companionship, may have made a tragic pact to depart together. Others point to the presence of prescription medications, questioning whether an accidental mix of treatments played a role. The possibility of foul play, while not widely suspected, has not been entirely dismissed as investigations continue. A lasting legacy. Hackman's passing leaves behind a legacy that few actors can rival. His ability to fully immerse himself in roles, making even the most flawed and complex characters feel human, remains unparalleled. He was not just an actor, he was a storyteller who shaped the landscape of American cinema. Though the circumstances of his death remain unclear, what is certain is that Gene Hackman will be remembered not for how he left this world, but for the countless moments of cinematic brilliance he gave us. His voice, his presence, and his unwavering dedication to his craft will continue to inspire actors and audiences for years to come. As Hollywood mourns one of its greatest, fans around the world reflect on the loss of a man whose performances were nothing short of extraordinary. His life was one of resilience, passion, and artistic excellence, and while his final chapter is clouded in mystery, his contributions to film will forever remain crystal clear.
All right. By the way, that music was original. I didn't take stock music. I decided to do it all. Oh. Still there?
Still here.
Oh,
I can
you're not
hear it
moving.
all.
Oh, okay, there you go. I was like, wow, he's not moving. So maybe you died in your unwaning dedication to this show. That's how I want to die. I want to be on the air and then just boom at the end of the show. That would be one final show. Looks like Christine's here. How you doing, Christine? But yeah, it's kind of a sad thing that he died the way he did. Although, he died in his sleep, basically. I mean, his pacemaker stopped working. That probably was the reason he died. But, Anyway, that was the only one I had that I actually got time to do. So I wanted to make sure I did that today. Let's see here. So that gets rid of that. Oh, by the way, that was posted yet last night at probably around midnight, and I didn't advertise at all, and I had 60 views before the show. That's just, to me, pretty cool. So, let's see here. Oh, you guys, you're gonna fight. You're gonna growl. I took your toy, so you're gonna growl. Dog's gonna drive me crazy. Stop it. Lay down. I had him blocked out, but right before the show started, I heard this crash, and then I heard him running down. So, all right, what do we got next? We got lots of directions we can go with the. I got a bunch of Musk stuff. I got a bunch of Gene Hackman stuff, but I think Gene Hackman. It basically. I was following the story as it went to see if we could hear any more information as to what ended up killing him, and.
Well, they thought it was carbon monoxide poisoning, but they've ruled that out.
Right, and in theory, she may have OD'd because she can't live without him. I mean, I've heard of that. She could have hit her head.
But why the dog?
Well, that's the other weird thing, too. I'm really anxious to find that out because that was a weird one. I guess we'll find out in the coming weeks. But he had withdrawn from society like 20 years ago. He retired and he moved to Arizona where he wasn't going to be, tempted, and lived his life. I mean, that was kind of cool. I hope I get 20 years of my life after retirement. So that's just a cool thing, though, that he got to do that. I wonder what his net worth is. Let's figure it out. I did not look ahead of time. What do you think? What do you think his net worth was?
$175 million.
Oh, I don't think it's that high. Although he is in a lot of good movies, I'm going to say. I'm going to say 24 million. Although you probably are closer to right than I am, but I don't know. Now how do I get out of this? Oh, there it is. Okay. Let's see. What was Gene Hackman's net worth? Let's find out. Let's find out together. Oh. Okay, here we go. Down here. He was a Marine too. He's a tough guy. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Here it is. Oh, what did you say?
175.
And I said 25. I think it's like right in between it because it's 80 million. So you said 175, so you were off by 95. I said 25. Oh, well, I won. Okay, I was off by 50. But that was close. Pretty cool. But I figured because his movies, he was done in 2005, 2004, something like that. And I think he did really well for himself. But I didn't really think he was like I was thinking about like Ben Affleck and them people. Those guys are making like pretty good money. But he was in it for a long time. But back when he started, they weren't paying that well. So it could have gone either way. All right, next. Oh, come on. There we go. All right. Great loss, great artist. Oh, here we go. I said about the... I think I said it while we were on... What did I say? I don't know. I may have said it before we got on the air. Joey Moland, Badfinger guitarist who later took the singing duties as he led the group later decades, has died. He was 77. He was just a baby compared to Gene Hackman. But yeah, Badfinger was a band that was that made it big because Paul McCartney had a lot of extra songs, and he gave them a bunch of songs. If you ever listen to like Anywhere You Are, that was a Beatles song. I mean, it wasn't a Beatles song that the Beatles played, but it was written by McCartney. But they helped him with a lot of songs. And what's the other one I used to do? What was the name of that one song? It was another Badfinger song that was pretty big. But anyway, I think he was the last. I think he was the last guy that was from Badfinger. Let me see here. I didn't get a chance to do an obituary for him because he went and died too late. It says here, Moland kept performing into his later decades after the death of several key bandmates, and died on Saturday after months-long battle of multiple health issues. Badfinger was a Welsh band known for no matter what you... Oh, that was a song, Day After Day. That's the one I did from them guys. And Baby Blue, I think I did it too. I did that one too. Anyway, the latter also famous for its use in the final moments of Breaking Bad, which Baby Blue. Moland began as the group's guitarist in the early 70s after band changes its name from the Ivies. And let's see here. It says, in recent years, Moland led a touring edition of the band despite the fact that the rest of the band's core members, Pete Ham, Mike Gibbons, and Tom Evans, were already dead. Though originally only on guitar, Moland became the singer on these shows billed as Joey Moland's Badfinger, and fans celebrated him for his continuing enthusiasm. He was active through last September. In January, his girlfriend Mary revealed that he had felt vaguely ill at the end of the touring run and had later was admitted to the ICU, where he discovered he had acquired a very bad bacterial infection due to his diabetes, resulting in sepsis, requiring several surgeries. So, Badfinger signed to the Beatles Apple Records in 1969. Paul McCartney wrote the Paul McCartney wrote the group's "Come and Get It." Moland also contributed work to John Lennon's "Imagine" and George Harrison's "All Things Must Pass." So that's the story. I thought they were a good band. I was surprised how many songs that they actually did that were that were famous. All right, so that's that. Also, the Dolly Parton's longtime husband dies at 82. And so this was a week for people dying. Who'd you say died? You said somebody died. Somebody I didn't have. It was a punk
It was
guy.
a punk group.
Yeah. Okay, so this is all done. Okay. I got a bunch of, I want to see if, stop it. Go lay down. No, you can't lay down. You've got too much energy. I'm just kind of curious if you hear this, this thing that I wanted to play last couple weeks. I figure, let's see if you could hear it in this particular, oh shoot, that's not it. Rats. Okay, hold on. Gotta find it. Okay. Why is it going there? Oh, okay, that's why. That means I probably don't have it anymore. Wait, I do. Okay, here we go. Just out of curiosity, let me know if you hear this. Did you hear that?
No.
Really? That's really weird. I thought you would have heard that for sure. Okay. I have to keep trying to figure out a solution for that because there's, you know, even if we don't play that game, there's other things that we need audio for. All right. Come on, forget. Okay. Former SpaceX employee divulges what working under Elon Musk is really like. What do you think it's like?
I think it's driven
Yeah.
and single-minded. And I think Musk is harsh
Okay.
with his employees.
Okay. Well, here's what this article says from MSNBC. It says a former SpaceX and Starlink manager is revealing with how his previous boss isn't afraid to get into the trenches to learn everything about his company's top to bottom, while keeping his priority of being the ultimate problem solver. Working at SpaceX was one of the most, I would say, eye-opening experiences I've had in my professional career. Vincent Peters, now CEO of Inheritance AI, said on The Bottom Line on Monday. You have someone like Elon Musk, who is this industrialist for this generation, and he creates an environment where those folks who work for him, he has ultimate trust in them, and he trusts them until he loses trust in their ability to be able to do their jobs. Peters attended West Point before earning graduate certifications at Oxford University and MIT, and also held positions in banking and as a government contractor, according to his website. He joined SpaceX in 2018, where he worked for more than 3 years as an information compliance and assurance manager. So, I mean, that's kind of what I would expect. Maybe like you said, maybe a little harsher than most people, but you know, the guy knows, the guy wants to know his businesses.
I base that on the way he's dealing with federal employees.
Right.
He just sends out emails and doesn't explain them well. He just sends them out.
Yeah, I could see that. I think I want to say, and it's because I just want to believe that he is doing the right thing. I want to say that he is not letting go people just looking at it saying, okay, you can go, you can go. I like to think that he's analyzing all the positions that he's affecting, because that's a big job, all the people that he's laid off and fired and stuff like that. But since I'm not one of them and it doesn't affect me, I would be a little easier to believe that. Now, someone that's afraid they're going to lose their job, probably doesn't believe the same thing.
The Democrats have invited some federal employees that have lost their job due to Musk to the State of the Union tonight.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Do you think okay, this is a big question. You can't really answer this in a few sentences, but do you think he's doing the right thing?
Absolutely.
Do you think he's finding a lot of waste?
Yes, and I think he's finding a lot of people that aren't filling their 40 hours a week with work.
I believe that. I believe that in most businesses, not just the government. So, yeah, I believe that could be true. So, hopefully, we'll start... the thing is, any savings is better than what we have had. And with the budget and the deficit that we're in, every little bit's going to help. Eventually,
well, the IRS reported today that they're considering firing 50% of their workforce.
Wow.
From 90,000 to 45,000.
And that's money that could, we're wasting all this money. If they could have really done that on their own, why didn't they do it?
Because they needed a different type of leadership to demand it.
Yeah. It's interesting. Then there's an article here about people that want to get rid of their Cybertrucks. Now, do you know why they want to get rid of their Cybertrucks?
No.
Okay. Well, obviously, one reason would be they aren't quality, but that's not true, so that's not it. The real reason, and this is really weird, some of them really love their Cybertrucks, but they're afraid because you drive down the street and people are giving you the finger. You park your car, people are keying them, people are putting swastikas on their car. It's like, if you don't like Musk, that's fine. Just don't destroy other people's stuff, I just think it's really strange. A lot of the early adopters of the Cybertruck was meant to be a statement. An all-electric stainless steel futuristic tank that screams something out of Blade Runner. Now, for at least some, the car is screaming, but in an entirely different way. Between plummeting resale values, trade rejections, vandalism with swastika graffiti and stickers on their cars, a growing movement of regretful Cybertruck owners are disguising their cars to avoid harassment, and to some point, pointing their fingers directly at Elon Musk. Here's one that said that he was a Cybertruck owner and a longtime electric car enthusiast who runs a cosmetic surgery in Massachusetts, bought his truck in April 2024 for business purposes. I liked the look, I needed it for transportation, and I thought, great, it's all electric, cheaper to run, simple. Well, it isn't just that, it's and he even put on the here it looks like #1 hair transplant on his truck. But when it comes right down to it, there's a lot of angry people out there that are angry at Musk, but they're taking it out on other people's stuff. But as Musk leaned further to the right-wing politics, endorsing Trump and spending millions of his campaign in Pennsylvania, injecting himself into the European far-right movement, and capping it off with a controversial salute at the inauguration, he found himself in a crossfire. At first, people would joke about the Cybertruck, give a thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever. And then suddenly, I'm getting the middle finger, people yelling at me, acting as if I drove out of Trump's rally. Really, I haven't experienced it because I haven't, I don't go out that much, but last couple of trips to Philadelphia, I could have expected that, but, people haven't done that to me, but I'm not out that much. But anyway, driving a Cybertruck in public has become akin to operating a moving political billboard in America. And it's funny because even if someone just makes a simple statement about I just got my new car, and it's a whatever, a Tesla, whatever. People, and not just one or two, tens of thousands of people are responding to this with their hatred. And it's amazing to me that people could hate him that much. I mean, it's kind of like the election all over again. You either really, really love Musk or you really, really hate Musk. And no one just shuts up and doesn't say anything. I mean, I do. I don't say anything. I could care less. I'm going to buy what I'm going to buy because I like or dislike something, not because I care about their politics. And I really, when I think about it, do you realize that Biden dissed Elon so many times? Elon kept trying to be cool to the guy, but he refused to be cool to Biden, or Biden refused to be cool to him. And he even was saying the number one electric car manufacturer, Chevy was never one. They were never even two. They were probably maybe a distant third. But they weren't going to give Tesla the incentives that they were giving everybody else because they weren't union. Biden refused to admit that Musk had the number one electric car. And it's crazy. Ford is number two probably because of Rivian. But he kept dissing him. He kept refusing to admit that he even existed. And so it's no wonder he went with Trump. But anyway, it's become a pretty big battle because people are idiots. But here's a car that was painted with a swastika because they didn't like Teslas. People are doing vandalism. This is not Musk's car. It's some end user who bought this car because they liked, the car, not because
how much is it?
If that's a Foundation series, that they probably paid $150 for it. If it's not a Foundation series, if it's a new one, it could be $80, depending what version they bought. But the Foundation, they threw free lifetime charging, free full self-driving, and some other perks. But I would buy one. I think they're okay. They're offering incentives like free charging for life and full self-driving. That's a good reason to want to buy it. So I don't know. I just think that people need to take a deep breath and just stay in their lane. Okay, you can hate whoever you want, but don't mess up somebody's property because you dislike the guy that manufactures it. All right. And they can't sell them because, a lot of people won't touch them because of that. They got the highest rating on a truck for accidents. I mean, you know how they do the NTHC or S, whatever that test is, the crash test. They got a 5 out of 5 stars out of that. They're the only truck manufacturer ever to get that. And they were showing that on Facebook, and people were ragging on them. Well, it looks like that they ran it like. It was funny because you could see the front end was hardly damaged. As hard as they hit it, they said, well, everyone in the cab must have been dead by then. It's a safety thing. They're not going to give a 5 out of 5 if it's not true, because they have no affiliation with him. But that's the way people think. People are idiots. Elon Musk owned xAI releases Grok 3, the latest version of the flagship AI model that's out there. It's going to be competing with all of the other guys that are out there, ChatGTP and oh, by the way, what's his name? Mark Zuckerberg is investing so much money in AI right now. He wants to take over the AI market, but then so does Musk. So,
Well, Microsoft has Copilot.
Yep.
Google, what is Google's? Gemini?
Copilot. Google is well, they changed their name a couple times. It might be Gemini. I thought it was. I forget who owns Perplexity. I like Perplexity, but I use ChatGTP most of the time.
Well, that's what I use. But it's kind of sad because Apple was going to release its generative AI, and now it's a couple years off.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting to see. They have a car. Apple has a car coming out too, by the way. I don't know if you know about that or not.
No, I didn't know they had a car.
Yeah, it's a pretty big deal. We'll see how far they get it, but it's pretty cool. ChatGTP is really it's awesome. It does a lot of my work for me. So like when I did the Gene Hackman thing, I had it generate a small description to put into my YouTube link, and I also had it do tags, and that's probably why we got so many hits on it already. I decided to let the experts do the tags instead of me. Let's see what else we got. Jason Statham is returning for The Beekeeper 2. Beekeeper 1 was pretty cool. I like that movie. I don't know if you saw it or not. He was a hitman. Yeah. He retired to keep bees and somebody found out who he was and he got attacked by whoever these agents were and all that stuff. It was interesting. I didn't think there'd be a Beekeeper 2, but who cares? I think it'd be cool. It says in 2024 it did 152 million. So that wasn't bad considering that, it was not a lot of people going to theaters like it used to. So that was good. Jay-Z is in the news again. It says Jay-Z defamation lawsuit against former accusers and lawyers over sexual assault allegations. The lawsuit against Jay-Z was dropped in February. So all those rappers, man, they release that information. We're going to see a lot of people go down. All right, I only got a couple birthdays. Let's see how many you can do. I'm going to start with the bottom because I don't know if you know who this is. Catherine O'Hara. Do you know who she is?
No.
She was with Second City, and she also was a. Did you ever watch Schitt's Creek?
Yeah, about 3 of them.
She might have been. I think she was the wife in that. Anyway, she's the first one. Do you know who she is? Do you know? Do you want to put an age out there?
Well, probably 65.
71. John Turturro.
82.
He is 68. Chaz Bono.
No.
Don't know who he is? Don't know who he is?
No. Don't know who he is.
You know who Sonny Bono is?
Brother? Dad?
That was his dad, or was his that was his dad or was her dad. Sonny Bono's daughter changed her sex.
No, I didn't know.
Yeah, it's weird. Anyway, He now is 56. Bernadette Peters,
71.
77. Yeah. And lastly, Ray Dawn Chong. Do you know who she is?
No.
She is the daughter of Tommy Chong.
57.
64. So that wasn't too bad. Really cool though. All right, let's see. That's that. The birthdays are done. All right. I don't know if you want to do. Maybe we could save this one, but the top 24 super billionaires. Do you know? I know you know one of them.
Musk.
You probably know Musk, yes. And you probably know a couple of them.
How about Gates?
Gates is still on there, I think. Hold on, let me see. Let me see if it has a list of them. Oh, here we go. All right. Number 1, Elon Musk. Number 2, Bezos. You might know 5 and 6. 5 is
Zuckerberg.
Zuckerberg is 6. Or no, what is he? He's 5. 4. Wait, 4 was... No, you missed... Okay, so you don't know 3. I don't know who he is either. Bernard Arnault. I don't know what LVMH is. That's the company name.
That's his business, yeah.
Yeah. Larry Ellison is number 4.
Well, he's Oracle.
Mark Zuckerman is number 5.
Meta.
Sergey Brin is number 6. He's owner of Alphabet, which is Google. Steve Ballmer.
Microsoft.
Yep. Warren Buffett.
Oh, okay.
Berkshire Hathaway. James Walton of Walmart. Samuel Walton of Walmart. Now think about this. All these Walmart guys are each super billionaires. If you put them all together, they probably would have beaten Musk. So we got the 2 Waltons. Then we got Armacio Ortega from Innotex. I don't know what that is. Then we got Alice Walton. She must be the redheaded stepchild because she's at 110 million versus James Walton at 117 and Samuel at 114. So, once again, the woman loses out. Then we got Jensen Huang of NVIDIA. Bill Gates comes in at, let's see, how many is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14. He used to be number 1.
Yeah, he's really, must be bad investments.
Yeah. Then bad investment. He only has 106 billion. How's he going to live on that? Michael Bloomberg.
Either that or he has a couple yachts.
I would imagine. Michael Bloomberg is next. Of Bloomberg. Lawrence Page of Alphabet. So he's another member of Google. Mukesh Ambani of Reliance. Charles Koch and Julia Koch of the Koch Industries have the next 2. We got Francois Bettencourt Myers of L'Oreal. That's a cosmetic company. L'Oreal, I guess I think it's a cosmetic company.
These guys down here must be very jealous of the top earners.
I would imagine. Then we got Adani Group. I don't know who that is. Gautam Adani. Then we have Dell, Michael Dell. So he's in the top 20 easily. Zhang Shan of Nongfu Spring, whatever that is. And lastly, the last one on that poll, Prajogo Pangestu of Barreto Pacific.
Well, he's slumming it.
Yeah, he's only got $55.5 billion. That's he's living in slums, man. He can't.
He only has one yacht. He only has one $5 billion yacht.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny. So that's our top billionaires. So that's crazy. That's I don't even know. It's like if I had $1 billion, I wouldn't work anymore. If I had a couple million, I probably wouldn't work anymore. Well, I probably would. Yeah.
You'd be doing what you're doing now.
Just be able to do it better because I can afford to do it better. All right. Let's see what's next. Let's see what's that. That's okay. Katy Perry, Gayle King, and Lauren Sanchez among 6 women tapped for the first ever all-women space crew aboard the Blue Origin. Now it's a New Shepard spacecraft. I guess they're paying a lot of money to do that because I can't imagine anybody picking them as crew. Yeah, that's the Origin is the Amazon guys. That's his answer to SpaceX. With celebrities such as Katy Perry, Lauren Sanchez, and Gayle King on board, the all-woman crew will fly into space when the New Shepard spacecraft launches from the West Texas desert this spring. The company says the first all-woman flight crew since the Soviet Union's Valentina, I can't even say that person's last name, solo space flight in 1963. Wow, I didn't know that they had one in 63. Did you know that?
No, neither did I.
Wow.
And I followed space pretty closely, and I didn't know that.
Yeah, but it's 1963. It's no wonder you didn't know. The flight comes off as Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin continues to become a major player in commercial space industry, competing with the likes of Elon Musk's SpaceX for NASA's business as well as business of other private companies. So, there you go. Let's see here. All right, next. So, do you believe that we're going to be screwed on the Social Security stuff?
No, not really.
I don't either, but there's always that chance.
Eventually they're going to have to do something.
Yeah. Well, it says Donald Trump's proposal could generate the biggest change in history of Social Security. That scares me a lot because change usually does scare me. But in a surprise turn of events, President Donald Trump signed an executive order directing the Secretaries of Treasury and Commerce to devise a plan for establishing a sovereign wealth fund within 90 days. This type of fund, owned by the government, invests in various assets such as stocks, bonds, and real estate. You know other countries do it that way, right? A lot of countries are already doing that kind of thing. They're taking their money and the money for some Social Security and investing it in other investments to help the Social Security or the fund grow. And we don't really do that. We just take the money that we're living off of probably people in the 90s that paid into it. Or actually, we're living off people working today because the money from the 90s was all gone and all that. So I think it's a good idea, but it is a little risky. But
well, anytime you enter into the stock market, it's risky.
Yeah, especially when people hate the top stocks that are out there. But we'll see. I just kind of wondered what your thought on that was, because it's.
Well, I think it's a great idea, and it's the only way we're going to save it.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, Gene Hackman.
Hey, how do you feel about the potential of $5,000 being given to every adult?
I really don't see that happening. It'd be nice, but they want to lower the debt. I really think that it should be used towards that, but I would take it. I think everybody would.
That's $10,000 per couple. That's pretty nice.
So I think you're for it then.
Well, it would help, but I think we need to lower the debt too. So if they decide not to do it, I'm not going to be upset.
Right.
In other words, I'm not counting on it.
Yeah. I think it'll be cut. I think that I would think that he would have a hard time getting that through, because I think there are a lot of people that oppose it. So I don't know. I mean, it doesn't matter, because no matter what Trump chooses to do, the Democrats are going to oppose it. It doesn't matter. So I might be wrong about that, but I really...
No, I think you're right.
It's sad. Okay. Last Breath was at the theaters this weekend, and it did $7.8 million on a slow weekend. I don't know what Last Breath was, but I think it must have been something everybody was waiting for. Let's see. Oh, okay, so I want your gut feeling on this. Last week, Zelensky came out to meet with Trump, and Vance was there. And there was controversy there. What's your thoughts on that?
At first, I felt sorry for Zelensky.
Okay.
That was my first reaction.
Okay.
And my wife's.
Okay.
But then after we did some investigation, we realized that Zelensky sandbagged Trump and Vance. There was a 25-minute pre get together, and Zelensky never brought that stuff up in the 25-minute pre-event.
Okay.
He waited until the cameras were running.
Interesting.
So then I realized that Trump did the right thing.
Well,
but my first reaction was that Trump was harsh and Vance was too harsh.
Okay.
On Zelensky. And the other thing was, Trump should have, I believe, this is my personal opinion, should have said, we'll talk about it behind closed doors. Because Biden was yelling at Zelensky behind closed doors. He didn't do it in public.
Okay.
Biden had trouble with Zelensky. Right?
Okay.
So these Democrats that said they've never seen such a thing are lying, because they know what happens behind closed doors. They're just flat out lying. They're trying to take Trump down. So, but I don't think it should have played out in public. That's all.
Well, there's another theory too. There's a theory that Trump and Vance pulled off an old Hollywood trick on Zelensky. And that is by letting the vice president instigate the Oval Office blow up with Ukraine leader, Trump resorted to a time-worn industry technique. A veteran screenwriter calls that technique the stranger in the room. I will try to explain this a little bit better, but here's how it works. When Vice President J.D. Vance did what he did in the Oval Office on February 28th, when he picked a fight with the embattled Ukrainian President Zelensky and emboldened President Trump to angrily call off the agreement that was expected to be signed that afternoon. It's what I've always called this is not my opinion, by the way, this is a story that, I got off of Hollywood Reporter. It's called The Stranger in the Room. I was a screenwriter for 30 years. I became well aware of the role of the stranger in the room. The stranger in the room is anyone in the meeting who is just there as a friend, someone who has no creative authority on and no stake in the project being discussed. Anyone in the room who is the last-minute addition. Sometimes it's a 20-something intern. Sometimes it's an executive from a sister office. Sometimes it's someone from marketing. Sometimes it's an older, more experienced producer who's lending a hand for the day. The stranger in the room is to destroy the project. The stranger in the room is the person who, after the writer and producer and director and executive have all agreed on the direction of the story, says, how would that play out in China? Or, this sounds like a movie, but it isn't. But isn't this movie really about love? I was once pitching a legacy reboot project to a legendary producer, a real lion of the industry. His 22-year-old daughter was also in the room. She interrupted my pitch saying, right, but don't we have any conflict in this movie? The stranger in the room is always there at the behest of the most powerful person in the room, usually the executive. Whether the stranger understands it or not, they're acting on behalf of the studio, or it is the studio's natural desire to say no because no one has gotten fired or for saying no. And the Hollywood executives, more than anything else, spend their entire career terrified they're going to lose their jobs for saying yes. They don't want to be disliked by creatives because creatives are the people who bring in the ideas. So instead of saying no, they bring in a friend or a protege or an ally from another department, or just grab someone from the hallway or a producer on another project and ask them to sit in on the movie or on the meeting. The producer doesn't say they're looking for, they hear 100 pitches a day. They say they don't know what they're looking for. They hear 100, they hear 100 pitches a day and they don't know what will be a hit. They don't know what will save the studio, and they don't know what, if anything, will please their bosses. So they bring in an ally to get another viewpoint, any viewpoint on the project, so that they can say no without alienating the creatives. Instead, they say, yes, that's a good point. We do need to keep in mind the China market. Or, yeah, this does sound like a lot like movie X. Now that I hear it out loud, yeah, what about love? We're forgetting about the love. What is your action movie pitch really about? Love. And then suddenly the balance in the room shifts. Suddenly the collaboration, the negotiation we were in becomes an argument where just moments earlier everyone was agreeing on how awesome the project sounded. Now suddenly the creatives are on one side and the suits are on the other, and the meeting becomes a power struggle. One of the creatives can only lose, but the suits have the money and the creatives have the art. The creatives will try to salvage the projects. They will try to make compromises. They will try to meet the suits halfway, but the decision has already been made. Hi, Jen. How you doing? So what they're saying is that a lot of people feel that was contrived, having JD come in and he flipped the apple cart on them, and it gave them a chance to back away from them. That's what they're saying. I don't know how true that is. I'm just stating that is one person's point. What do you think? I didn't see it, so I can't comment on the actual meeting.
Yeah, I saw it. I saw it a couple times, and I think Zelensky came in and he was trying to make a point. Wrong place, wrong time, wrong people.
The other reason that I was told or believed, I read it somewhere. I wasn't told. I read that they want to keep him out of NATO because
because Putin, that's his big thing. In fact, that's the reason that he invaded in the first place, was because of the prospect of Ukraine going into NATO, and Trump has said that there's no way he would accept Ukraine and NATO. He's already given Putin that. See, what's going on, Mike, is that they're trying to break Russia away from China.
Okay.
And trying to drag him in to a closer relationship with the United States. Because if China attacks, Russia will attack Europe and divide our forces in half. And they want Putin out of that quartet. It's China, North Korea, Iran, and the Soviet Union. Well, Russia. And they're trying to get them out of that quartet. And so they're giving Russia what they're demanding, or close to what they're demanding for peace.
Okay.
And Zelensky knows that he's going to lose territory.
Well, they also want to keep him from being in NATO, because if he's in NATO, then he gets help with the war.
Well, NATO would have to, and the United States would have to provide troops. And neither Europe nor the United States wants to put boots on the ground.
Right.
And he was also seeking security guarantees. In other words, things that Russia will not go for, Zelensky wants. And here's the deal. If we sign that mineral deal, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The mineral deal is where Ukraine has a lot of special minerals. And the United States, Trump, is signing a deal that will get billions of dollars from the Ukraine from the sale of those minerals. And we would be in there mining those minerals.
Wow.
And if we have Americans in Ukraine, Russia's not going to attack. So that's the security guarantee, is that we would have all kinds of mining companies in the Ukraine digging out these minerals, because that's the payback for all the billions of dollars that we've sunk into the Ukraine over the last 3 years.
Okay.
And as long as we have people in Ukraine, Russia's not going to do anything. Because the last thing they want to do is kill an American.
Right.
Because Trump would do something to protect Americans.
Okay.
And Russia does not want a direct confrontation with America. I mean, Putin does not want a direct confrontation with America.
Right.
So Zelensky gets what he wants. I heard that the deal will be signed before tonight at 9 o'clock. Because at 9 o'clock is the State of the Union, the unofficial State of the Union speech. And the deal will be signed before 9 o'clock tonight.
Wow. Wow. That's interesting.
A lot of
stuff.
intrigue.
It's a lot of politics, man.
Because Zelensky has apologized for what he did.
Yeah, I saw that. Wow, that's pretty deep stuff.
And he was warned, by Republican senators not to do what he did. before he went into that meeting with Trump. He was warned not to do it. He did it anyhow.
That's interesting. Yeah, I didn't know about all that stuff, but I just kind of felt that to me that was interesting because of the comparison to the actors people doing that. That they I felt that I didn't know that other stuff, so that makes sense.
I believe that Zelensky did it on purpose and took Trump advance off guard, and they lashed out. Well, I wish they wouldn't have lashed out on TV.
Right. Yeah, because it just the haters are gonna.
It made them look like bullies.
Yes.
And it made them look like just two bullies. They're picking on one guy who's trying to survive the Russian assault. And that's what it looked like to me. But other people found it to be, they praised Trump for sticking up for America. And I see that now, but I didn't see it at first.
Okay. That sounds good. I mean, it's a game of chess, live chess.
Well, Trump says he's after peace. The one thing is Trump doesn't like war.
No.
He doesn't at all. He doesn't like it. He wants to end the war in Gaza, and he wants to end the war in Ukraine.
Yes.
And but he's going to give the farm away to Putin, pretty much. Putin's going to come out looking pretty good after the way Trump's done, because he's trying to get Russia away from China.
Okay. Interesting. It's
all politics, Mike. It's all politics.
It's enough to blow your head off. I mean, a lot of stuff is going on. What do we get from Russia? Do we get things from Russia?
Well, Europe gets most of their gas and natural gas and oil from Russia. They spend more buying fuel from Russia than they have given Ukraine to fight Russia.
Wow.
See, the Europeans are little bastards. They don't pay their way in NATO. They don't. United States keeps NATO afloat defensively.
Okay.
They don't pay their way, and Trump wants them to pay their way. And so Trump's pulling back from NATO, and now from Europe. And now Europe is scared to death that Russia's just going to mow them down. And now they're talking about spending more on defense. And that's what Trump has been trying to do for 5 years. He tried to do it his first 4 years. And he said they had to spend 2% of their GDP. And nobody was doing that. Now he's saying they have to spend 5% of their GDP. And nobody's even close to doing that. Now they're scared to death because they don't think America is going to be there if Russia invades. So now they're going to start spending money on their own defense.
Wow.
So Trump, again, the art of the deal, the great negotiator, has gotten what he was after.
Okay. It's interesting. I don't know. This is
all just Trump negotiating deals.
Right.
That's what this all is.
Yeah. Yeah, and the haters can't see that. They just see hate.
Well, haters are just haters.
Yeah. Yeah, it's insane. Okay. Let's see here. Senate confirms Linda McMahon to lead the Educational Department, a vote of 51 to 45. The former WWE executive previously headed the Small Business Administration during the Donald Trump's first term. So she's laying the smackdown.
Well, her job is to close down the department.
Okay.
Trump wants to do away with the Department of Education.
Why?
Because it's filled with left-wing, progressive, communist socialists, and he's trying to get the root out that class of people, and it's the department that's filled most with these folks, and whether you like it or not, that's what's going to happen.
Okay.
And I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying that's what the whole deal is. She's going in there to shut it down and turn it back to the states.
Okay.
Now, whether Congress will allow that to happen or not is a whole different question.
Okay.
Congress may stop it, but that's what Trump wants to do.
Well, I don't know enough about that to have a conversation, because that would sound stupid.
Well, I'm just saying that's what he wants to do. I read enough and watch enough that I know what he wants, and that's what Linda McMahon is supposed to do, is shut it down. Send the money, all the money that is tax that goes to the Department of Education would be divided up among the 50 states.
Okay.
So the 50 states will not lose a dime of dollars.
Okay.
They'll have say, the state of Ohio, the state of Pennsylvania will have total say how they educate their kids. There won't be a federal bureaucracy telling them what to do. The state will be able to educate their children the way they want to.
I think I'm okay with that.
Well, it's easier to go to Harrisburg and meet with your congressman than you go to Washington and meet with your congressman.
Right. That makes sense.
It's easier to go to Columbus, which is our capital in Ohio. It's easier to get to your congressman, your state congressman, than it is to get to your national congressman in Washington. So parents will have more control. And that's what Trump wants to do. He wants to have parents to have more control over education. Because right now it's being run by the teachers' unions and by the Department of Education, and they're filled with progressives.
Okay.
That's why we have a lot of the teaching that we have today, is because it's being pushed by the teacher union and the federal government. And he wants to take it. Now, the teachers unions would still have high influence, but the federal government influence would be taken away.
Okay. I think I'm
and
okay
it would just give mom and dad more of a chance to voice their opinion on what their kids are being taught.
All right. That sounds good. I think I could get behind that. Yeah, I think I'm okay with that.
But Congress has to be the one to shut it down, and who knows what they're going to do.
Right. Well, that's a good question too, because again, haters gonna hate. So, speaking of Congress, Zero Day. I was in that.
Yes.
And I watched all 6 episodes, and I might have seen myself once.
I like what you said. You might have seen yourself once.
Well, I know where I was supposed to be, and there was a direct angle where they could have seen me, but the problem is that they went to De Niro on a close-up when I was supposed to be there. When he said the one guy's name, they should have gone to that. Everyone, they went, whenever they said the name, they went right to that person. If they had gone right to that person when they said this guy's name, you would have seen a good shot of me. But I think what it is they didn't want me overshadowing the other person. So, but that guy was.
That would be it.
That was the guy right in front of me.
It's your manly good looks, Mike, would have
That's what
just
it is.
stolen the scene.
That's what it is. Yep. My manly good looks. What other good looks are there? I mean, geez. But, you know, the thing is, they paid me good for what little time I was on the air. So I don't have any problems with that. But yeah, I was so bummed when I was looking at every scene saying I was in that scene, but the camera was here and I was over here, so you didn't get to see me. Well, this time the camera was over there for just a brief second, and I think I saw me, but nobody else. I would have to tell them the exact second it was there, because you're not going to see me. It was so quick. But I liked it. It was really cool watching it from that perspective because I was there. And
Where was it on, Mike?
It was on Netflix.
Netflix, okay.
Yeah. I was so excited about it because this is the first one I've had that's on the air. So a lot of them are, you know, just film festivals and well, the other one was commercial. I mean, that commercial played all over the place in the eastern, from Rhode Island to I actually, someone said they saw it in Jersey, so I don't know, but it was exciting for me because I got.
Is that the commercial with the band?
Yeah.
Are you or are you not in the band?
Get off my ottoman. Oh, that was fun.
I like that commercial.
I got so much good feedback about that commercial, and I was so scared of what it was going to come out like, because, like I said, they sat me there, and there was probably 2 hours of me making up things, and that ottoman was one that was made up. We did that on the spot, but there was so many different things, and I was curious as to what they were going to choose, because there were a couple of them that I liked more than others, but the ottoman was pretty good. I got to say they chose probably the best, maybe the best one. But there was another one where I said, I called the police. And I kind of liked that one, but maybe that was stretching it a little bit too much. But we had a lot of different things, and who knows? I'm hoping I get some really good stuff this year, and it'll start picking up now that we're in March. I should start getting some jobs. So I think last year I was like, oh man, I must be a failure because I don't have any work, and it was like February, and then March comes, boom, I got booked solid pretty much for the rest of the year. So yeah. But anyway. I got one more in entertainment, then the floor is yours. And this is a short one. Someone's about to get points. It's not me. So all I can say is Pope Francis. So I have a feeling he's not
He's
long.
in trouble.
What's that?
He's in trouble.
Yes, he is. So we'll see if, and he's 88 or something like that, so, yeah, it's crazy. The floor is yours. What do you got?
Well, I've got some old toys.
Oh, yeah.
That are worth a lot of money.
Okay.
The first one is Pokemon cards.
That's amazing. That stuff, I can't even put my finger on it because it's so far. I mean, I used to play Pokemon because I was bored, and when I was working, I'd play that on the way to work or on the way home, and people were like, "How old are you?" Because I was playing it all, but it was fun. It was, but the cards are just amazing. The prices of some of those cards, I don't get it.
Well, one specific Pokemon card netted $320,000.
Yeah, it's stupid. I can't understand why people would pay that.
A perfectly good, in shape. Which one is this? Barbie sells for $27K.
At least
Beanie Babies, one Beanie Baby, a highly desirable version of Batty the Bat, went for 125K.
But that is amazing. But the Princess goes for more than that.
Really?
$500,000. No, that one was. Is that the one that's $1 million? It might be a half. How much did you say the bat was?
Batty the Bat was 125K.
Yeah, I think the Princess. Last time I checked, the Princess was like $500,000. Just
vintage trains are worth hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Vintage what?
Vintage trains.
Oh, trains. Yeah, I believe that. At least they're old enough to be worth that. That's the thing. That's from when we were kids, or even earlier.
An original Luke Skywalker in the box of 1977 is $7,000. Or a Stormtrooper figure and Darth Vader together are both worth nearly $4,000. $400,000. A Volkswagen Hot Wheels is worth $175,000.
Jeez.
Plus a surfboard. You got to have a surfboard on.
Of course. Jeez.
This just goes on and on and on, this list. A 1968 Mustang, a Hot Wheel, is worth $40K. Beach Bomb, a 1969 pink Beach Bomb VW bus with surfboard, well, it's worth $175K. Happy Meal toys. The set of Power Rangers from 1995 is now worth $350. A 1999 Tarzan toy is worth $450. And a complete set of Happy Meals Beanie Babies is worth $1,000.
Jeez.
Polly Pockets, $1K.
I remember those. I mean, I think I don't know if my sister had one or not, but I've heard them before.
Okay. A Super Mario 64 is worth $1.5 million.
The cartridge?
The video game. A vintage original copy of Super Mario 64 recently sold for $1.5 million.
Wow. I probably have that one. I have in my collection of stuff. When I had my video store back in 1989-ish, 1990, something like that. Did you ever see one of those game consoles that had, you couldn't buy them for your home. It had a cartridge, it had like 12 cartridges in it and a button you would push to change cartridges. It was for a demo. I have one of them, and that was Nintendo. And that was when they made those cartridges you're talking about. And probably in that is probably one of those cartridges.
You might have more money than you think.
I might have another Tesla in my closet.
Well, if you're really generous, Mike, I'd have a Tesla then.
Well, yeah, but I'm not.
Oh. Hey, here you go. Pez dispenser. A Captain Hook 1997 Pez dispenser is worth $1,000.
By the way, we have a chat feature that you could send me the link and I could bring it up for the people to see.
Oh, well, we'll have to work on that and teach me how to do that.
I just thought of that right now because you're giving this, and I thought I'd be cool to be able to show that. And wait, I can show that because all we got to do is bring the chat. You post that link in the chat, and I'll flick it and it'll show it on the screen now. So, or you could send it ahead of time so that I have it in my.
I can do that. We'll work on that for next week.
Yeah, I mean, what the heck? We got the technology, and we're even actually using some of it.
All right, 5 words that are the same in almost every language.
Okay, what are they?
Chocolate.
Chocolate, okay.
Coffee.
Okay.
Pineapple, surprisingly.
Okay.
Taxi.
Taxi. Okay.
Now it's spelled different. It's all spelled different, but it's close in pronunciation.
Okay.
And T.
Huh. Okay.
5 words.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and they have slightly different spellings, but it's all the same thing. Now, how about this, Mike? 12 slang terms for money. How many can you think of?
Dinero, cash.
Cash is one.
Bucks.
Bucks is one.
All right, that's it for me off the top of my head.
Well, here you go. Smackers.
I've never heard that one.
Yeah, I have. Moolah.
Oh yeah, moolah would be a
lot
good
of
one.
moolah.
Yeah.
A lot of dough.
Dough. Yeah.
K, like 6K, 7K, 8K, 100K.
Okay.
Bucks.
Bucks. Yeah.
Clam.
Oh yeah. I didn't think of that. Yeah.
Here's one I don't know. Kale. Never heard of that.
No, I never heard of that either.
Kale. Kale.
Okay.
Ducat. Never heard of that either. It's from it's old European term.
Okay.
Ducat. And then smackers. How about C-note?
C-note I've heard. Yes.
Benjamins.
Yep.
Yep. Well, that's the list.
That's good. That's good. You know, one thing we didn't talk about that I don't think we talked about. I think we talked about it off the air, but we didn't talk about it on the air. There was a pay-per-view this weekend, an Elimination Chamber. And the big deal was that Cena won the Elimination Chamber. And the big deal about that was that at the end, The Rock came out, and he, of course, wants the soul of Cody in exchange for, being a champion. And Cody said that his soul is out there. It's all, he gave his soul away to the fans. And right then, when that whole thing started and Cena was already in the ring to congratulate, or no, he was in the ring and then Cody came out and congratulated him. I was 90% sure when The Rock came out that this was going to happen, that he was going to turn on Cody. That was so cool. It was so well done because the whole time that Cena was in the WWE, he was a good guy, even when the fans hated him. So now he's a bad guy, and everyone hates him worse than ever. I've never seen a crowd turn so quickly because they like Cody. So that was really interesting. I thought that was the best part of the night, was when that happened. And
I'll have to ask my grandson whether he watched that one or not.
It was pretty intense, but I liked it. It was well done. So also I got a message while we were talking. They canceled our show that was supposed to be on April 12th. The place is playing games. And even though they wanted us back, supposedly, they've been giving us all these roadblocks. And the last roadblock was that we can't have a show till the fall. And then they told us our show has to start at 11 in the morning and has to be done by 2 or something like that, which is really unreasonable. That's not a good time to have a show. We're not going to make money. They're not going to make money because we're paying them. We're donating money to their team. In the meantime, my partner, I said to him, well, let's just find another place in that neighborhood because we're already a known commodity. So whoever gets us is going to get us. As long as we do it right, we should be able to make money at it. And while we were on the air, he sent me a text saying he's got a building, and we're going to have a show on the 26th of April. And it's in the same neighborhood, so if we have that wraparound crowd again, I might actually make money for a change, because we're going to book the show ourselves. We're not going to use the guy that was with us before. We're going to do it ourselves. So I'm excited. So that's really cool. All right, what else you got?
Well, what was the movie that won Best Picture on Sunday?
I don't know.
Nobody else knows it either.
I think I did read it somewhere, but I don't remember what it was.
Let's see. Nobody knows what it is. Nobody watched it. So here I have a list of all the movies that have won Top Picture of the Year.
Okay.
So I just want to read some of these names to show you the difference between other years and this year.
Okay.
All right. 1970, Patton.
Okay.
Everybody watched
Patton. Oh, yeah.
All right. The French Connection in 1971.
Okay.
The Godfather in 72.
Oh, 1971 was also Gene Hackman, because he was in that movie.
Yes. All right. 73 was The Sting.
Oh, The Sting. That was great.
That's a great movie. The Godfather Part 2, 74.
Okay, I could see that.
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest in 75.
Yep.
Rocky in 76. Yep. Annie Hall, Woody Allen. I love that movie. In 77. The Deer Hunter in 78.
Oh, that was
Kramer.
Yeah.
That was a great movie.
Yeah.
And Kramer versus Kramer.
Yep.
79. All right. In 80. Ordinary People in 1980.
Okay.
Chariots of Fire of 81.
Okay.
82 was Gandhi.
Wow.
83, Term of Adirs.
Okay.
Amadeus in 84. Out of Africa in 85. Here's one, Platoon in 86.
I know all the ones you've mentioned so far.
Yeah. The Last Emperor in 87. Rain Man in 88.
Oh, Rain Man.
And Driving Miss Daisy, one of my favorite movies of all time.
Okay.
In 89.
What happened? You froze up. I hope I didn't lose you. Uh-oh. I might have lost you. The program's working. You're just frozen.
Yep, I lost you. Now you're back.
There you are. Okay.
Unforgiven.
I think we're at 89. We think we were at 89.
What?
We were 89, I think. Where are you?
Okay, here I am going back. Dances with Wolves in 1990.
Oh, I remember that. That was a controversial one, too, because no one wanted Costner to make that because it was so expensive.
Okay, Silence of the Lambs in 91. That's a good movie.
Put the lotion in the basket.
92, Unforgiven.
Ah.
Schindler's List in 93.
Wow, that was a good movie.
Forrest Gump in 94.
That was another good movie.
Yep. Braveheart in 95.
Yep, another good movie. That one was way, way expensive to make, too. And that was a Mel Gibson movie, wasn't it?
Mel Gibson, yeah. The English Patient in 96.
I hated that movie. That was horrible.
Did you?
I thought that was a horrible movie.
Well, here's one I didn't watch
at
all, as I didn't like it at all. 97 was Titanic.
You didn't like Titanic?
I did not. I did not at all.
And you're married.
And I'm married.
You have to like Titanic. I mean, even if you don't, you got to say you got to.
Well, I had to watch it, but I didn't like it.
Yeah. I understand.
Shakespeare in Love.
I didn't watch that.
I didn't see that one.
I didn't watch that one.
99 was American Beauty.
Okay. I didn't watch that either.
2000 was Gladiator.
Okay. Which just had a...
2001
yeah.
was A Beautiful Mind.
Yeah, that was a really
oh
interesting movie. Okay.
02 was Chicago.
I didn't see that, I don't think.
03 was Lord of the Rings,
Oh,
Return of the King.
that was cool.
That was a good movie. 04 was $1 Million Baby.
Oh, that was the Clint Eastwood movie.
Yep.
Yep.
05 was Crash. I never saw that.
I saw it, but I don't remember too much about it.
All right. My point here is in the 70s and 80s, I saw all those movies.
Yes.
But here we're getting into some movies I never saw. Like 06 was The Departed.
Okay.
Never saw it. 07, No Country for Old Men.
I remember
Never
that.
saw it.
Yep.
Slumdog Millionaire
Yep.
was 08.
And that was a
Now
low,
The Hurt Locker.
that was really interesting because that was low budget and that was made in India.
Daniel Boyle did that. The Hurt Locker in
Okay.
09. The King's Speech in 10.
Okay.
The Artist at 11. Argo in 12. 12 Years of a Slave in 13. Birdman was 14.
Birdman was really weird. That was a Michael Keaton movie.
Yep. Spotlight was in 15.
Okay.
The Shape of Water was 17.
That one was another independent movie about. Do you know what it was about?
No.
It was about. What was the creature that lived underwater that had gills and?
Aquaman?
No. What was his name? What was his? I can't think what it was. It was when we were. I mean, it was pre-Aquaman. Anyway, this creature was captured by this
The Creature
guy.
of the Black Lagoon?
Yes, that's the one. Yeah. It was really interesting. I liked the movie.
Well, see, what this list just taught me was I was into movies in the 70s, 80s, and 90s.
Okay.
And I wasn't into movies in the 2000s.
But
Because I've never seen any of these. Spotlight in 15.
The thing I do.
Moonlight in 716.
See, the one thing I didn't realize, and I'm realizing it as you're saying it, was that not all of these were big, heavy, expensive movies. A lot of these were independent films or not high-budget films that made it to that list. So every one that you mentioned, I've heard of, and that's why I know some of those were low-budget movies. So I'm really surprised that they made, the best picture or whatever.
The Shape of Water in 17.
Yeah.
Green Book in 18.
I don't even
Parasite in 19.
Geez, I've never heard of any of those.
Noma Land in 20. Everything Everywhere All at Once in 22.
That movie.
Now here you go. Oppenheimer in 23.
Yeah, well, 22, that movie there was so bizarre. And it won all these awards. And I watched it and I'm like, I didn't really like that movie. But I understand why it made it. What else you got?
Well, I got some serious stuff. Well, I have one serious thing.
Wait a minute. What was the winning movie of this?
I have no idea. I never heard of it.
Oh, well, what was it?
Well, type it up.
Oh, I thought you had. I thought you had the list there.
No, I didn't list it here.
Well, so it's the what would I look under? The movie of the year or
2024 Best Picture.
Best Picture. And the answer is, it was Oppenheimer.
No, 2025, I guess.
Oh, well, this is 2025.
This doesn't make sense. Oppenheimer was before this.
Well, it says, I'm looking at it.
Yeah, it does. That's exactly what it says.
Huh. You said that was 2023. Let's see what 2023 comes up as. I'm curious.
Try 2025 first.
Hold on. Everything Everywhere all at once. So I don't. Okay, let me see if we have a 2025. I mean, the year's not over. Let's see. Anora. Oh, okay. So it's the 2025 Oscars. So it was talking about last year's movies. I never heard of Anora either. A young.
So what my thing is, 80s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. I do every movie.
Yeah.
Saw every movie.
Yeah.
But after the 90s, I must have quit going to movies because I don't remember. I didn't really recognize hardly any of them. Either that or the Oscars changed.
Well,
and started picking other movies except the big ones.
No, I don't think even in the earlier ones that you were talking about that a lot of those were smaller movies. They were artistic movies more than anything. They weren't the most expensive movies that were put out because I didn't hear Star Wars in there anywhere, and that's one that you would have thought would have won something. So, I don't think it was based on budget, and it certainly wasn't based on acting power because a lot of those people, like Slumdog Millionaire, nobody knew any of those guys on that. Those were all new people. So there were a lot of those were artistic movies. So I think the Oscars are really allowed to be more artistic than, say, blockbusters. When you think about how much money that they put into the Star Wars movies versus Slumdog Millionaire, it was more of an artistic reason that they bought that than other things because they weren't the number one selling movie. They may have been the number one movie, but it wasn't the number one movie for because they spent the most money or made the most money. Because a lot of those were low budget films. That one you said about The Water, that was not a high budget movie either, or it didn't bring in the most money. So for the Oscars, I think they were more artistic because a lot of those movies were artistic and a lot of people loved those movies, but they did not. A lot of those did not bring in the numbers that some of the other ones would have that year. So I think that it's not a dollar value; it's an artistic value, and that's a judgment call on a lot of those things. So, I see where because I would bet you if you were talking about money-making movies, there would have been a whole lot different thing. Because Fast and Furious would have been one of those, because that made a lot of money, but it wasn't an artistic movie by any extent. It just made a lot of money because there were a lot of car crashes. Same with the Blues Brothers, stuff like they would have made money. They were a big money maker back in the 80s. So, yeah, it was definitely not the high-selling movies or the most profit movies. But it's still interesting that was some of the people that are some of the movies that did win, because a lot of those I wouldn't have put in that category at all, because I've seen a lot of those movies. And now, did you say Titanic did win?
Yes.
That's one that made money and made a buzz and everything. That one truly was a buzz thing. That one won because of the buzz. So, I don't know. It's just one of those things that
I thought Titanic drug on.
Yeah.
It could have been a lot shorter movie.
It was 3 hours.
They could have told the story in an hour and 15 minutes.
But yet, if you were a woman, you saw that movie over and over and over again. If you were me, you saw it once and you were done with it. So, I don't know. The fact that I kind of was angry because Jack was an idiot.
Yeah.
I would have said, get off that and give me some room. Let's both die together. I'm not going to just die alone. Screw that. But anyway.
Okay, last thing. Do you
Okay.
remember when Trump said he was going to take over Gaza and turn it into one big, beautiful resort?
Yes, yes.
Well, Egypt has come up with a plan.
Oh, okay.
Yes. It's a 112-page draft. And what it's going to be is they're going to rebuild Gaza by 2030.
Okay.
And they're not going to move anybody out of Gaza. What they're going to do is get temporary housing. They're going to get mobile homes.
Okay.
And they're going to stick them everywhere around the country and let people live in mobile homes until they rebuild.
Huh.
And it's going to start. Now there's unexploded bombs in the rubble, and there are bodies in the rubble.
Huh.
And so they've got to go in and get the bodies out of the rubble and get the unexploded bombs out before they can begin to build.
That sounds like a job I wouldn't want.
No, I wouldn't want that either. And Hamas is not going to rule it. It's going to be ruled by two groups. Okay. One group is going to be a bunch of Palestinians that don't live in the West Bank or in Gaza. And then there's going to be an oversight, which is going to include all the Muslim countries. It's going to include European countries, and it's going to include the United States.
Okay.
Hamas has to leave.
Wow.
This may work, Mike.
Okay.
This might work.
I mean, all of our lives we've seen fighting over there. It'd be nice to have not fighting.
Peace.
Yes.
It would be nice to have some peace.
Yes. But how would Hamas think of that? What does they...
They hate it. They've already rejected it.
Okay.
But that's okay. When all the hostages are gone, Israel is going to kill the last Hamas leader. You think Israel's not going to go back in there once they get their last hostage out? That's why the trickle effect is. That's why they're only giving a couple at a time. Okay. Because it's the only thing keeping Israel from going in and blowing up the last. They'll just go to carpet bomb it.
Okay.
And kill everybody.
Wow. Oh man, I'm so glad I don't live over there.
What a mess! A mess, Mike.
I'm glad I don't live over there.
Now, Salvation Army officers get 2 trips in their officership.
Okay.
They get an almost free trip to Israel, and they get one to Greece and Turkey.
Wow.
Biblical lands. It's all biblical lands. They haven't gone to Israel in 5 years because of the danger of being in Israel.
Oof. That's sounds bad. But would you go?
I'd go.
You would? Okay.
Yeah, I would.
Oof.
I wouldn't take Patty though.
Okay.
But I'd go myself.
I just think that that's a territory or an area down there that are over there that I would not want to go to under any circumstances. I don't know. Just too much pain and too much hate and too much nasty stuff. I don't know.
Well, hopefully this plan works.
Yeah.
Because then there can be peace.
It'd be nice to have peace. I would be. I'm all for the peace thing.
Me too.
Yeah. So.
Okay, Mike. That's all I got.
That's all you got.
Some good stuff.
That's all you got. Okay. All right.
You've got so much stuff, Mike. I hate to bust into your
all the
work you do.
No, I don't mind. But I do. I mean, I do it throughout the week, though. During the week, I just grab things and throw them into my folder, and if I decide later on, I'll look at it again and say, maybe that wouldn't be so good. Like my entertainment stuff, I look at that and I say, nah. If I didn't have anything, I might do it, but usually I have a good amount of stuff to. I think there's only been 1 week since you've been on the show that I actually ran short of stuff. but I like to keep it fairly. Actually, so where did the expression gung-ho come from?
I have no idea.
You're about to find out. So as the Second World War raged in the 40s, Carlson became one of the handful of high-ranking officers put in charge of the elite battalions known as the Marine Raiders, looking for a motto with which they can rally and encourage troops, known as Carlson's Raiders. Carlson ultimately returned to Gung Ye, or rather he angelicized and his angelicized version of it, of gung-ho. The term soon became the expression of military enthusiasm and zealotness among his men. So he was trying to build up the same kind of working spirit seen in China, and all of the soldiers dedicated themselves to one idea and worked together over that idea. So, where's my article? Hold on. Trying to find the. Oh, okay. I did skip things. Okay. So gung ho was means work together. It was a Chinese cooperatives used that as work together or work in harmony. And the motto caught on, and they began to call themselves Gung Ho Bee. So that's where it came from. It came from the Chinese people working together. So there you go. If you ever wanted to know that, you now know it. If you didn't want to know it, too bad you know it now. You can't unknow it. So it was just, I found it interesting because, you know, I always wondered where it came from. So it means work together. So when we're working together, we can say gung ho. Fat Tuesday festivities are coming up. Millions around the world will celebrate Mardi Gras today, the final day before the Christian fasting and religious observation period of Lent begins. Mardi Gras, French for Fat Tuesday, is the culmination of carnival season, which officially starts each year on January 6th, the 12th day after Christmas, which concludes the day before Ash Wednesday. The celebrations include elaborate parades and feasting on traditional foods such as king cake. Did you know that? I never heard of king cake. Mardi Gras has roots in medieval European traditions and evolved from ancient Roman festivals into a global event. I used to have a boss back in 1995. He always went to Mardi Gras. And he thought it was the coolest thing in the world. Every year he'd go. I never got it. You know, too much drinking and too much partying and too much drugs and all that stuff. So I never really had any interest in it. But that's where Mardi Gras and all that comes from. So, short little information. Let's see here. There's hold on, I want to look for something that's better.
What's on your screen, Mike, that you're broadcasting?
What's on my screen?
Yeah.
This. I didn't change the picture. Oh, yeah. That's is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, Nora was still
well,
on
that's
mine.
Yeah, I didn't change it yet. I'm about to change it though. Megalodon goldfish found in Pennsylvania waterways. Did you ever hear of that?
No.
Oh, you're going to like this. You know, Megalodon is a huge fish. So there's a picture of it, and there it is. That, you know, you would think, oh, that's just a camera angle, right? Here's that fish.
Wow.
That's a goldfish.
Wow.
That's a freaking goldfish. I'm like, what in the world? What is this all about? Goldfish can grow massive and wreak havoc in the wild including stealing food from native fish, turning lakes and waterways into murky messes, and ruining water quality. Some goldfish can grow to 4 pounds if released in the wild. A 4-pound goldfish. You better get yourself a bigger goldfish bowl. Oh, I thought that was definitely funny. So that was a big article in the... that was in Pennsylvania, by the way, in case you were wondering. That goldfish was in Pennsylvania. Then, did you know that they discontinued Skype?
No.
Microsoft has announced... hold on here, I got to delete this so that you stop picking on me because I left the last page up. Okay, drop it. There we go. Okay, so Skype was the first communications program that was given away by Microsoft, and it was a good program. It worked. It was, things like Zoom and all that evolved from Skype, and all those communication programs, like if you even talk about Facebook with FaceTime and all that, that was all because of Skype. And now Skype is officially going away. It's really strange to think of, but I guess they don't make any money on Skype, especially since the other ones are out there. And the other ones have gotten better than Skype was. But Skype was a pretty cool program. But it says an acquisition so wild and crazy they had to do it again and again and again. And Ben and David cover tech's perhaps most traded asset, Skype, which also happens to be a fantastic business. How do we even know which deal to grade? Tune in and find out. So anyway, basically it's going away. It kind of hasn't been really updated in years and years, and it was just there. I don't know. People don't use it. I would imagine don't use it that much anymore. But back in the day, that was the go-to program. It was way ahead of its time. A lot of the times that when you think about, let's see when was that released? Curious. Here it is. Skype was founded in 2003 by a group of Nordic engineers. The platform quickly reached 10 million users, and 2 years later, eBay acquired it for $2.6 billion. In 2009, a consortium of investors, including Andreessen Horowitz, bought a 65% stake in Skype for $1.9 billion. That was in 2009, valuing the business at nearly $3 billion. Microsoft then bought Skype for $8.5 billion in 2011. The tech giant's largest acquisition at the time to replace its Windows Live Messenger. Do you remember Windows Live Messengers? That was,
yes.
That was. I didn't realize how many owners this thing had. I thought Microsoft started it. I didn't realize it had a big history like this. At the peak, in 2016, Skype boasted around 300 million users. By 2023, the number of users dropped by 36 million. You got to think about that. COVID caused Zoom to become huge and just blew everybody out of the water because of all the things it could do. Skype could do most of those things, and they were the first to do it, but they just weren't as fancy and didn't have that little box where you can have all the people around and whoever talks can be up on the screen. Skype never really kept up with the things with the way things went, and so they ended up, losing out on a technology that they pretty much created. So that's kind of sad, but hopefully whoever owned it last, which would be Microsoft, isn't going to take a hit on it. So tariffs are going to move forward with 25% tariff on all imports from America. Two largest trading partners, Mexico and Canada, go in effect today, or I think it was today, according to the
last night at midnight.
Yeah, According to Trump's latest comments, the tariffs were delayed for a month to facilitate talks with Mexico and Canada on addressing drug trafficking and migration at the U.S. border. All three major indexes, U.S. indexes on the news, it says here, slid, and boy, they did. My Tesla stock took a major beating on this. All major U.S. indexes slid. So it says here with the S&P 500 posting its biggest loss since December. Mexico's already deployed 10,000 National Guard troops to its northern border, while Canada appointed a fentanyl czar, even though Canada accounts for less than 1% of fentanyl smuggled into the U.S. There's a show on Max. I don't know if you get Max or not. There's a show on Max called, it has to do with contraband coming from Mexico. And it's really interesting to see how they smuggle some of that stuff in. Here, the one smuggler, I just watched this today, the one smuggler had a tractor trailer full of carrots. And they were sent out on these pallets. Well, the guards took the pallets out, and they suspect that there was more than just pallets of carrots. And they drilled into the pallets, and they found cocaine in the pallets. They saw there was some, I think there was fentanyl in the pallets. Just in the wood, they built the wood to look just like pallets you would see anywhere else. And all they did was they took a drill and ran it in, and they pulled it out, and there was cocaine right there. Just crazy stuff. And then there was human trafficking at that border and all that other kind of stuff. That this one lady was smuggling this little 6-month-old baby into the country because apparently the parents had already made it into the country, but they couldn't get their kid to the country. So it just, that's really sad to see that kind of stuff. But that kind of stuff is, Mexico is, I don't see a problem with Canada. I don't think they do that much stuff with it, but Mexico, I see all kinds of stuff that's crazy stuff. And it's, I don't know. I just can't imagine what that stuff is going on. Says separately, the U.S. paused military aid to the Ukraine following last week's heated Oval Office meeting that we were talking about earlier. I found that interesting too. So those tariffs are coming in effect. In fact, I would imagine that he's talking about it right now as we're speaking.
Yep.
Let's see, chatbots. Oh, this is really weird. Chatbots of the dead. So when I was driving back from Philly last week, I was listening to Howard Stern, and one of his best friends died a couple years ago. And he was really upset about him dying. Everybody was upset. We did a special on him, and actually a lot of the hits that I had at the time were because of his death. Lots of people listened to Howard Stern. Anyway, so Howard was talking about creating a chat bot that he could, after his friend that died. So he put his personality of this person in the chat bot. So he can talk to his friend, and his friend's been dead for several years. And so the chat bot answers the way that this guy would have answered. And so there's people that are doing this now. And this was why the reason I decided to talk about it was because not only did I hear Howard talking about it, but other people are doing it too. Like I could make a chat bot of Ken, and I could design it the way Ken talks, and I could talk to Ken whenever I want. The problem is, I don't want to do that. and people that want to do that, I think it's pretty bizarre. I mean, maybe if I wanted to talk to Pam, but I know that's not her. I know that's not him. I know that is not going to be really them. And I just think that it's beating yourself up But there's a lot of people that are doing that now. They're creating chatbots of people that have died. So you can talk to these people that are... That's like people that... Okay, one of my pet peeves in life, and I know I get heat for this. One of my pet peeves in life is people that have died on the internet when you write to them on Facebook like they're still alive. Happy birthday in heaven. Really? And everybody always comments about those people that you commented, that you said, you know, they'll say things like, oh, God bless you, or whatever it is. And it's like, they're dead. I don't do that every year to when Ken's birthday comes up. I don't do that every year when Pam's birthday comes up, because they're dead. They don't read Facebook. Chances are they've got better things to do than look at Facebook in heaven. I think that's just, I know it's heartless the way I'm saying it, but it's just a waste of time. And every year, you know, I'll see people post, Mom and Dad, I think you're, you know, another year has passed, and I hope you're doing well. They're dead. They're not getting sick. They don't have any illnesses now. They're dead. Just forget about it. Move on to something else. Use your time, because I can't imagine that being very healing. But I know that people do that, and there's a lot of friends of mine that do that, and I see it all the time, and I just don't even post on it. I mean, a friend of mine's husband just died recently, and she posts things telling people about her life with him. That makes sense, okay? You had a life 50 years with this person, and you're just celebrating his life, but you're not talking to him. I don't know. I just one of those things that,
well,
pet peeve of
in
mine.
my line of work, I've done a lot of funerals, and people will stand up during testimony time and they'll say, well, I guess Uncle Bob is up there partying with his nephew now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the chances are, if that's who Uncle Bob was, he's probably not in heaven.
Could be. I don't know. I mean, if they say it as a joke, I'm okay with it. But these people are like more serious than they are joking on this. It can't be healthy. I don't know. Maybe it can. Maybe it is healthy to that person. But, I mean, I can't say I don't talk to Ken on a regular basis. But I don't write to him on Facebook because he never had a Facebook anyway. The only Facebook he has is the Uncle Sam Band one. And it's only his because I built it and I gave it to him. But he never even logged in on it. So I don't know. I just think the people got to learn to accept the fact that that person's not coming back. So I don't know. I think that if it makes them feel good, I guess there's no harm in it. But I think it's really strange. So that's just my commentary on dead people. So unless they come back and show me, and if they come back, they're not going to look too good because they're, you know, we're in a casket for whatever, or cremated or whatever it is. But I think that's just silly. Okay. So 3 men went on trial yesterday, maybe 2 days ago. No, it would be yesterday, for their alleged 2019 theft of a satirical golden toilet from an art museum, from an art exhibit at the sprawling 18th century Blenheim Palace in southern England. Prosecutors claim 5 men broke through a window and removed the functioning 200-pound broke into a window and removed the functioning 200-pound golden toilet in under 5 minutes. 3 men deny the charges, while the 4th pleaded guilty to burglary. The toilet has not been recovered. That's taking a crap on your art, I guess. but the piece was insured for $6 million, was created by artist Maurizio Catalan in 2016, an Italian known for creating provocative pieces, often for comic effect. Ooh, images. Wait, we can see them, maybe. Let's see. See what a golden toilet looks like. And here it comes. Well, that's not a toilet. What in the world? That's an alligator. Well, that's a weird thing. Oh, here's some of his other art. See, some people make weird art that I will never understand. I don't see the golden toilet, though. I'd like to see the golden toilet. That would be interesting. Guess we're not going to show it. But anyway, somebody paid money for it. What would you do with a golden toilet? You can't hide. It's not like you can sell it. Everyone would know. Let's see. The piece insured for $6 million was created. Okay, so it says titled America. The piece debuted in New York's Guggenheim Museum, where hundreds of thousands used it. What? In 2019, the piece was moved to Blenheim Palace, the traditional seat of the Dukes of Marlborough, where Winston Churchill was born, whose father was the third son of the Duke. The theft occurred days after the exhibition of Catalan's works opened. An 18-karat gold, roughly 75% pure, is believed to have been quickly melted and sold. Yeah, that's what else are you going to do with it? Jeez, that's crazy. People are so weird.
Yeah.
First off, making a gold toilet. Second off, stealing a gold toilet. Oh, man. There was, well, last week there was an Amazon, or there was Friday, they had a thing where people were supposed to not buy things retail for an economic blackout. And I don't know, I think I talked about, I had made a post that personally that was a bad idea because the people that get hurt are not Amazon and not Walmart, but actually the mom and pop stores. But, you know, I don't know how it went. I don't know if anybody paid attention to it. I just want my Jess back. ICU nurse held hostage at the UPMC memorial shooting fights to heal. So this is an interesting story. To work, if you're working in an ICU, you already got a lot of stress on your mind, and you know, people went in there and killed people. York County community is rallying behind Jessica Hoff, an ICU nurse who survived the UPMC memorial shooting after being zip-tied, dragged by her hair, and used as a human shield. Her fiancé, Jason Huff, shared her harrowing ordeal in an emotional Facebook post, revealing that the gunman forced her to the ground, stood on her back, pulled the trigger against her head 3 times, only to hear an empty click. She broke her zip ties and ran. I just want my Jess back, is what Jason wrote. No one should have to go through this. Jason's son, Jaden Huff, has launched a GoFundMe to cover therapy costs, lost wages, and recovery expenses. My mom has always been the one to take care of others, but now she needs us. The campaign, I just want to make my mom smile again, has raised over $2,900 in her $5,000 goal. Let's see what it's at right now. Oh boy, I guess she's going to be healed. $64,720. So that's
wow.
good. I mean, I feel for that woman. I mean, geez, she does something. She's a nurse, and she tries to help people, and then somebody comes in and decides they want to shake up the system and scared the living daylights out of her and killed somebody. I think somebody got killed in that whole situation. But man, that's just sad. But I'm happy for her. They had a $10,000 goal. I got her 6 times that. So that's nice. It's good to hear a good thing come out of that whole thing. So I don't know. I don't understand why people would go after innocent people like that. Okay, then we got... Oh, there was some more airplane stuff this week too, I think. One of the things I saw was a jet was coming in for a landing and they hit. It was a FedEx airplane, I think it was, not jet.
They hit a bird.
They hit a bird. Did you see that? There was fire and stuff coming out of that.
Out. Yeah.
That was crazy. I was talking to a friend of mine who happens to be a steward. He used to travel all over the world, and we were talking about the airplane thing. He said, "What's the safest transportation you can make?" I said, "Yeah, but not lately." I mean, they go 20 years without any accidents, and then all of a sudden we get a lot of accidents. He said that's because the airplanes are really old too. So, you got to worry about that stuff. Then we got, let's see here. Got to figure out which ones I'm going to do. I got a lot of stuff that I don't need to do. Uber sues DoorDash. How weird is that? So they sued them because they're accusing the food delivery platform of anti-competitive practices, including threatening restaurants unless they agree to exclusive partnerships. I mean, I just never would have thought that we would see people suing over this. I've never used Uber Eats because I don't know. They charge a lot of money. One time I went to use it, they wanted like $40 for delivery or something. And it wasn't that much of food, or it was $20. It was something that was like doubled the price of the food. Rideshare Uber filed lawsuit against DoorDash, accusing the delivery outfit of stiffening competition by intimidating restaurant owners into exclusive deals. Uber alleges in the lawsuit filed by a superior court in California that its chief rival bullied restaurants into working only with DoorDash. And Uber claims that DoorDash, which holds the largest share of the food delivery market in the U.S., threatens restaurants with multi-million-dollar penalties or removal of or demotion of the business's position in the DoorDash app. Specifically, Uber claims DoorDash pressures restaurants to strike exclusive or near-exclusive agreements for first-party delivery services, meaning that DoorDash insists on solely handling orders placed through the restaurant's own websites. Uber's case has no merit, says DoorDash. Their claims are unfounded and based on their inability to offer merchants, consumers, or couriers a quality alternative. I don't know. I really don't use them, so it doesn't really affect me. But I don't even.
Well, we're using it now because people have given us gift cards.
Oh.
Because of Patty's surgery.
Okay.
And so, but the prices, I mean, it's not our money, but the prices are outrageous to have your food delivered.
Yeah, it's crazy. So, I don't know. I just don't, I'd rather
and
just
people
drive.
do it all the time. Like, there are people that have their food delivered 3, 4, 5 times a week. I don't know how they can afford it.
Well, it's funny you would say that. There's a show called My 600-Pound Life. And a lot of those guys use Uber Eats to get their food delivered to their house because they don't leave the house. And I'm amazed at how much money that they spend getting their stuff delivered. It's crazy. I don't know. I think it's bad enough that the prices are what they are just for the food. But once you add in, the delivery thing, that's crazy. Because like I said, the only time that I used it, I don't even have the app, but a friend of mine back when COVID was going on. Now, again, part of that was probably because it was COVID. But our food ended up, the food that we ended up buying would have bought, ended up being double the cost of the food, just for the delivery. And I said, nah, I want to drive and get it. I don't know. Consider me cheap if you want, but I'll never spend that kind of money for food. So people wonder why I got a Tesla? Because I didn't spend that kind of money on Uber Eats. So we'll teach them. Anyway, I got a dog pushing his nose on my hand while I'm trying to use my mouse. Be nice if he didn't do that. Let's see. Here's a weird one. Cryptocurrency scams have reached at least $10 billion in 2024. Oh, we did talk about this, didn't we? About pig butchering? Did we talk about this?
No.
Maybe we didn't. Okay. Okay, so let me pull this up here. Let's see here. Come on, here we go. Crypto scam revenue 2024 for pig butchering grows nearly 40% year over year as fraud industry leverages AI and increases sophistication. So that says a lot, but it says a lot of stuff that we don't understand. Hold on here, I got to make this bigger so I can read it. In 2024, cryptocurrency scams received at least $9.9 billion on chain. An estimate that will increase as we identify more illicit addresses associated with fraud and scams in the coming months. So, according to the metrics, it looks like 2024 saw a drop in scam revenue. However, 2024 was likely a record year, as those figures are lower bound estimates based on inflows to the scam addresses we've identified up to today. A year from now, those totals will be higher as we identify more illicit addresses and incorporate their historic activity in our estimates. Since 2020, our estimate of scam activity has grown an average of 24% between annual reporting periods. Assuming a similar growth between now and next year's crime report, it totals could be $12 billion for the next year. Basically, people can be there are so many scams out there. I've seen scams on Facebook. I've seen scams on Cash App. You know, there are scams everywhere, and it just is weird to see these scams. So the pig butchering ones. Hold on, I'll bring that up. So, okay, let me see here. Approval phishing is an increasingly popular tactic used by criminals to steal funds through different scamming techniques such as fake crypto apps. I mean, I get people on Facebook, women trying to be my friend, and they try to talk nice to me, and then they talk about scam, or they don't talk about scams. They talk about investing in crypto, and that's the whole reason that they friended me. And once I tell them I'm not going to invest in crypto, they disappear. So you know that's their whole gig, is to talk people into doing it. They're all saying how easy it is, and they can help me, and I don't need help. I don't need to give my money away. But the biggest thing that irritates most of them to say is when you tell them, like say for instance, you're on Facebook and you're told that they just won $60,000 in a what was the guy that gave the big checks? Do you remember the it was like a publisher clearinghouse. I was offered a chance to win money because my name was on the list. They saw my name on the list when they signed for their money, and I said, okay. They said, your name is on the list. Did they contact you yet? Now, of course they didn't contact me because my name's not on the list, since that's not my name. But they kept telling me my name was on the list, and I had a lot of money coming, and here's the person you got to contact, and I tell them I'm not interested, and they said, well, you're missing all this money. I'm like, well, I don't care, and they said, well, don't you need the money? And then I tell them, no, I don't. then I had one guy. He said he got $200,000 from this Publishers Clearinghouse or whatever the scam was, and I said, well, congratulations. And they said, well, you were on the list too, and you're supposed to get 80 or 200,000. I don't remember what the number was, but I said, well, that's really nice, but I don't really need it. They're like, what do you mean you don't need it? I said, well, I don't, they can give it to somebody else. I don't really need it. And then they'll say, well, why don't you need it? I said, well, I don't need to have all that extra money. They said, well, could you send me some? It was like, well, you just got 200,000. What do you need my money for? But anyway, anyway, so where was the, I'm trying to think where the pig thing is. Where's the pig thing? Stop it. Just sit there and be good. Don't push my mouse. Okay, where is it? How pig butchering scams work. Wait a minute. Here it is. Okay. Thousands have lost huge sums after being lured into fraudulent online investment schemes by seemingly attractive strangers who strike up online conversations with them. Here's a guy spotting them. Now, I used to get these all the time. I haven't had any for a while. I think because most of them got sick of, they put me on a do not interact list, maybe. If you're like most people, you've received a text or a chat message in recent months from a stranger with an attractive profile photograph. It might open with a single hi, or what seems like good-natured confusion about why your phone number seems to be in the person's address book. But these messages are often far from that accidental. And they'll get you on Telegram, they'll get you on Facebook. I've got messages from text messages that they just, the person says, how are you? And you're like, I don't know who you are. And then they say, well, aren't you? No, this is not me. Well, okay, I'm sorry for sending a wrong message. And then they start a conversation with you and try to get you to be interactive with them. And that's the beginning of the big thing. Pig butchering is a technique. As this technique is known, the phrase alludes to the practice of fattening a hog before slaughter. Originated in China, then went global with the pandemic. Today, criminal syndicates target people around the world, often forcing human trafficking victims in South Asia to perpetrate the scheme against their will. ProPublica recently published an in-depth investigation of pig butchering based on months of interviews with dozens of scam victims, former scam sweatshop workers, advocates, rescue workers, law enforcement, and investigators, along with extensive documentary evidence, including training manuals. They make these manuals up to teach you how to be a scammer. Chat transcripts between scammers and their targets and complaints filed with the FTC. We've heard people from all walks of life that have been victimized by their cases, and the paydays have been huge. And Andrew Frey, a financial investigator for the Secret Service, the federal agency that's taking the lead role in combating online crime and trying to help victims recover their stolen funds. These swindles are not highly organized, but also systemized. That's how fraudsters usually go about it. They include photographs, excerpts from text between scammers and targets, advice from training guides for fraudsters, and police reports from pig butchering cases. They create a fake identity. Pig butchers are often begin by a phony online persona, typically accompanied by a luring photo. Now, a lot of these people just take somebody else's pictures and someone else's profile, and they just create a clone of their thing, and then they go after their friends on Facebook. So what they do is they let's say they took my name and my picture, and they created a new profile. They would target the people that are on my list of friends, because then they have familiarity of that person. You contact. But the thing is, like, I had one recently from Pam's father. Now, Pam has died a long time ago, and then Pam's father died about 3 or 4 years ago, and he contacted me, and I just played along. And I said, "Oh, by the way, do you remember how we met?" We never met. I know, she hated her father, and I would play head games with him. I'd say, well, you owe me $2,000 from last time we talked. When am I going to get that money back? And I'd mess with their heads, because they don't know what's real and what isn't, because they're playing a fake character that they don't even know who the character is. And so I would play, especially when they're dead. When they're playing and they're dead, that makes it more fun. Anyway, initiate contact. Once they've got an online profile, they begin sending messages to people who are dating or social networking. Alternatively, they may use WhatsApp, and usually that's a red flag. If they try to get you to go to WhatsApp or use another platform other than what you're used to using, that's pretty much a red flag that they're going to try to scam you. And they do that because if they scam you on Facebook, or if they get blacklisted on Facebook, then they have to start over again with a new profile. But if they scam you on WhatsApp, then they won't lose their account on Facebook. So they're going to try to move you from that one platform to another. In December 2020, a Connecticut man received these messages on WhatsApp from a seemingly friendly stranger. He responded and eventually ended up getting tricked into scams. That cost him a total of $180,000. Now, I can't tell you anybody that's going to scam me for that much money. Because, first off, who has $180,000 to send them? And if you have $180,000 and you're sending it to a guy, that guy worked hard to get it. He deserves it. That's my opinion. But that's just my opinion. The scammer would say, "Long time no see. How are you recently?" By the way, if they say things like, "I'm Mike Trash by name," if they say by name, they're probably from Nigeria. Most people that don't know that, that's an important thing. Because they let their language take over, because just habit. But a lot of the times they don't seem to understand, and keep saying it, because that's a nice red flag. Anyway, this one here says, "Long time no see. How are you recently? Are you not Kevin? Sorry, I guess I added the wrong person. Sorry." And then the target would say, "Not Kevin." Then the scammer would say, "Sorry, I made the wrong call. Since I have many business partners, my assistant saved the wrong number. Please forgive me." Then the target would say, "No problem. What country are you calling from?" "I come from Hong Kong. Hong Kong is a metropolis with technology, finance, and food. Have you ever been there?" Then the acquaintance says, "Acquaintances," or the scammer says, "Acquaintance is fate. Where are you from?" And then the guy will say, "I'm from New York," or wherever. "Your place is very beautiful. I was there many years ago." They start talking to you like you're familiar. They start talking to you like they could actually be paying attention to your life and thinking that that you trust them. So they're trying to win the trust. So then they'll talk about their own personality. They'll talk about their family. I have one brother that is handicapped and lives with my parents. Of course, he's coming with them for the weekend. And that was the target saying that. And then the scammer says, I see, my parents are taking care of my brother. I hope he will live well. And little by little, they just gain your confidence. And then they try to get you to sign up for whatever it is, if it's an investing scam, or if it's a sign up for the publisher's clearance thing and all that. That's how they get you to start believing them as a real person. Before long, the swindlers will pivot their discussion to investing, and they'll make claims about their own. One girl sent me a picture of her jet. She showed me her personal jet. And I thought that was really funny that she would actually go that route and show her personal jet, and how they make all this money. And I like, some of the scams are really funny. The one person that said that he won $80,000, he showed me a picture of a box with $80,000 in it. He said, here's the box I just got. Like, who would send $80,000 cash? They would send you a certified check or something like that. They wouldn't send you cash in the mail. I just thought that was funny too. And then a lot of times they ask you for gift cards. Like you won this money, but you got to pay money to get the money. Or if you were ever in a scam where they say one of your relatives died and you're entitled to the $5 million that they had left because, of that. And all you got to do is send them, like $1,000 or $200 for the fees to transfer the money to your account, Why not just take it out of the money you're going to send me? That would be the right way to do it. Yeah. Then they have, there's a guy on, he has a Twitch account, but he also has been putting some of his stuff on YouTube. His name's Kitboga, Kitboga. And he spends hours and hours talking to these scammers. He's got a thing to change his voice so he can sound like multiple people. And he'll have conversations with his wife or with her husband on the phone, and you'll hear him switch between the voices so that it sounds like it's real. And the scammers fall for it a lot of the times. He'll keep them on the line for like days and geez, sometimes weeks. And it's really interesting to hear them talk to the scammers. Sometimes the scammers will call you and say they found a car in Texas and it had your fingerprints on it and there was blood in the car. And we're the federal government, we're coming after you, is what they would say. Unless you are willing to do something to make sure that it doesn't, they'll, like help them find the right people and give them money to, for the fines or whatever. Those are scammers too. So there's lots of scammers out there, and there's lots of people that fall for that stuff. And I don't know how usually it's the older people who would fall for it because they never really ran into that kind of thing. But it's pretty commonplace now that the stuff shows up. It's just, I can't see how people, because some of these people actually scam these people out of hundreds of thousands of dollars or more. It's a shame that people would actually do that. But it's just crazy. But they're out there. There's all kinds. I mean, there was somebody that almost got me in a scam on Facebook a couple years ago. I bought. I was trying to buy this computer for Christmas because it was a really, really good deal. That's the first thing. That's the first red flag. If it's a really, really good deal, chances are it's a scam. But I couldn't figure out what the scam was because they were local. They were actually Chambersburg, which is about a little over an hour away, and I wanted to go pick it up. So I contacted the guy, and he said, "Oh no, I'm not there. I live in Erie." And then like an idiot, I thought, oh, well, I'll just have them ship it. And I paid the guy. And then when I went to find out when the shipping was, he goes, well, I didn't get the money. I said, well, I paid for it on your Cash App. He said, well, what Cash App? And he gave me a Cash App number a long time ago, or well, the day before, and that's the one I sent it to. Well, when I went back to him, I said, well, here, I sent it to your Cash App. He said, well, that's not my Cash App. I said, it is your Cash App. That's what you said it was. Well, his Cash App was that plus like a B10 at the end. He didn't put the B10 at the end. And I thought, well, that sucks. I can't figure that out. I couldn't figure out who got the money then. Somebody got the money. So I went back and I did a little research. And here, he didn't live in Erie. He was really actually down in Chambersburg. And I did a little research. I looked at his page and I realized that the person I sent the money to was his girlfriend. So I thought, okay, I'm out this money, so I have nothing to lose. So I tried to get him to return the money. He wouldn't return the money, because he said he didn't get it. So I finally took my last gambit. I used to play chess. I used to play a lot of chess. Well, I decided I was going to gamble on this move, and I called the guy, or I sent the guy a message saying, "Here's your girlfriend. Here's whose address here's whose Cash App that was." And I think the police would really be interested to know that she got my money and you got my money. And I think they really would be interested in knowing about this fraud. So, you have a chance to return my money or not. Because either way, if you're not going to pay me back, I'm going to make sure you're arrested. And he paid me back in an hour. Got the money back. And I thought, I'm not going to do any more Cash App. Because if it's on Facebook, they'll pay you back. Facebook will pay you if it's a fraud on Facebook. So that was really cool. I also, by the way, reported him to Facebook for scamming me. And I made sure they knew how he scammed me so that they would delete his account. So, you got to do things sometimes because they're...
Got to do what you got to do.
Geez, even though it was only a couple $100, that times whatever number of people fall for it. It just really sucks that there are people out there like that. And there are a lot of those people. So, okay, I got to figure out, we're getting down to the end here, so I got to figure out something good. Let's see here. All right. Okay. Here's the hardest tongue twister in the English language. All right. You ready for it?
Yep.
All right. Let's see. It is... Where's it at? Shoot. Here we go. Pad kid poured curd pulled cod.
Okay, what is that?
That's a tongue twister. Say it.
I can barely read.
Okay, hold on. I'll make it bigger. I think. Oh, where's that? Where'd it go? Okay, let me put it up above your head. There you go. Can you see it now? Oh, went too high.
Pad kid pound curd pulled cod.
Pad kid poured curd poured. I can't do it.
Pad kid poured curd pulled cod.
Yeah, you can say it slow.
I can say it slow, but
I can't say it fast. Okay, so it says it may not look tricky at first, But in 2013, study by MIT speech communication scientists, the researchers created this tongue twister, which ended up being the hardest tongue twister for their test subjects to pronounce. Even though Pad Kid poured curd pulled cod looks easy on paper, it can quickly become a string of muddled syllables. Seemingly simple phrase packed a punch with its use of plosive consonants, the P and the K sounds, and vowel transitions. So, yeah, I looked at that and I said, oh, that looks easy. Nope, not really. I could probably get it if I practiced it, but classic ones are She Sells Seashells by the Seashore, Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, How Much Wood Would a Woodchuck, and Fuzzy Wuzzy Was a Bear. Yeah, apparently is a tough one. I didn't think Fuzzy Wuzzy was that hard, but the other ones, yeah, the other ones can be difficult. So, yeah, there's oh, here's some more. If you must cross a coarse cross cow across a crowded cow crossing, cross the course cow across a crowded cow crossing carefully. You want one?
Let's see here.
You can do number 2.
Near and near, near and near, a nearer ear, a nearly eerie ear.
Brisk brave brigadiers brandish broad bright blades, blunder buses and bludgeons, balancing them badly.
Roy the warrior, and Roger the warrior was reared wrongly in a royal brewery.
How about a skunk sat on a stump and thunk the stump, and the thump and the stump thunk. I can't even say it. A skunk. Ooh, I can't even say that. A skunk sat on a stump and thunk the stump stunk, but the stump thunk the stunk. Oh, the skunk thunk. I can't even say it.
When a doctor doctors a doctor, does the doctor doing the doctoring doc as a doctor being doctored wants to be doctored, or does the doctor going to the doctoring doctor as he wants the to doctor?
The 33 thieves thought that they thrilled the throne throughout Thursday. Well, that's not too bad. The 33
That's not too bad.
The 33 maybe it isn't this easy. The 33 thieves thought that they thrilled the throne throughout Thursday. Hey, I did it. Yes.
There you go.
Here's some short ones. You can take one.
3 free throws.
Oh,
3 free throws.
Send toast to 10 tents stout saints, 10 tall tents.
An 8 hates great cakes.
A shapeless sash sags slowly. That one's not bad.
Yeah. Tie twine to 3 tweet. Tie twine to 3 tree twigs. Yeah.
Scissors sizzle thrizzle. Ooh, scissors sizzle thrizzle. Sizzles scissor.
Scissor sizzle thistles sizzles.
Something like that. Green glass globes glow greenly. Hey, I did that one. That one's right.
There you did.
Funny.
A happy hippo hopped and hiccuped.
I saw a kitten eating chicken in the kitchen. Oh, that one's easy.
Cooks cook cupcakes quickly.
Sorry, I didn't mean to move that while you were... 6 sticky skeletons. Oh, that's easy.
Yeah. 33,000 feathers on a thistle throat. Thrush's throat.
Wait a minute. Which wristwatches are Swiss Which wristwatches are Swiss wrist? Which wristwatches are Swiss wristwatches?
Double bubble gum bubbles double.
Well, that's easy. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Smelly Shoes and Socks Shock Sisters.
Red lorry, yellow lorry.
That's not
That was
too
easy.
bad.
That's not tough.
Let's see here. If a dog chews shoes, whose shoes does he choose?
That was pretty good.
Yeah, that one's too
Fred
bad.
fed Ted bread, and Ted fed Fred bread.
I think Ted and Fred need to get a life.
Yeah.
Then we got imagine an imaginary menagerie. Imagine an imaginary Imagine an imaginary menagerie manager managing an imaginary menagerie. Ooh, that one's a lot harder than it looks.
33 thirsty, thundering thoroughbreds thumped Mr. Thumber on Thursday.
Oh boy, this one looks tough. 6 sick hicks nick 6 slicks bricks with picks and sticks.
You seem to get the tougher ones.
Yeah, that
How
one's
can a clam cram in a clean cream can? How can a clam cram in a clean cream cram? Oh, forget it.
6 check cricket. Ooh, that one's hard. Say it.
6 checks, cricket.
Oh, that's funny. Oh, these are long ones. I don't want to do long ones. Ooh, this one looks interesting. Luke Luck licks Luke. Oh boy, Luke Luck licks lakes. Luke's duck likes lakes. Oh, I can't even do it. I can't do that one.
How much ground would a groundhog hog if a groundhog could hog ground? A groundhog would hog all the ground he could hog if a groundhog could hog ground.
Oh, that's really
Try
funny.
the last one.
Let's see here. The last one. Birdie in the sky laid a turdy in my eye. If cows could fly, I'd have a cow pie in my eye. Oh, that's crazy. Oh, see, I'd like to play you part of this, part of my practice last week, but I don't know if you'd hear it. Because every time I play music, it doesn't seem like you can hear it. Let me try it. What the heck? Worst that could happen is you could say I can't hear it. I want to play the Led Zeppelin one. Let's see here. We got projects. Oh, did you watch my my TV show yet? My
Oh no, I
pilot?
forgot.
Ah.
Yes, I did.
Oh, you did. Okay.
I saw it.
Okay.
Remember, I told you you were the
Oh yeah,
real-
yeah. Okay. I just wanted you to say that again.
You were the most believable of the four.
That was a fun thing. I'm about ready to. Well, as soon as the girls give me the other parts I need, I want to start putting it in film festivals. But if they don't, I'll end up doing it anyway. I think. Let me see if where is it? There it is. Wait a minute. There it is. Okay. This is now. Keep in mind that I was trying to see if I could see. Now Robert Plant did this high on when he did the album, because you have the studio equipment to make you sound good. Whenever he did it live, he did it low. He did it a lot different. Like he said, instead of "been a long time since a rock and roll," he said he did it a lot lower. in live versions. This is me doing it high, and I hope you can hear it. Can you hear that?
No.
That's a shame. That's a shame because it's really good. I gotta figure out how to get that to you so you can hear it. But it's really, really good because the stuff that these guys play, and these guys are really good musicians. But since you can't hear it, it's not going to be any good. I got to figure out how to. There's got to be a way I can get that sound to you. And I think through this system that I'm trying now, I can figure out a way to do that. I don't know how to do it yet, but I'm going to figure it out. Anyway, all right. Well, that's the end of the show. It was fun, and I think we might just do this again next week. I hope I have my new monitor next week, and that may make the difference because that monitor is made for doing what we're doing. So, anyway, I'm glad we got to do this and talk to you guys next week, and I will talk to you next week too.
Yep.
So,
take care, everybody.
All right, let's see here. Okay, here we go.
We've been together since way back when.
Come on.